What's good, YouTube? It's your boy D-Riv. Hey, today we're going to be reacting to another special video. Today we're going to be watching 10 Biggest Regrets WWE Wrestlers Confessed. We already know a lot of people have different doubts, different things that they regret in their careers. I'm sure a lot of people wish they could take things back, certain matches. I know Undertaker said he wish he could take back the Goldberg match that he had with him at a very old age. But I'm really curious to see how many more superstars come up with regrets, because I'm sure there's a lot. Wrestling's been around for over 30 years. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of different things. So, I mean, let's find out what it is. First time come across, make sure y'all go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all have been going absolutely insane, and I appreciate all of y'all. So, continue to keep going crazy. Continue to sort of show me the support. Because, like I said, we're trying to hit 5K before December. And I'll step foot in the actual wrestling ring and do some actual training for a video. So, let me know what y'all gonna react to next, and let's hear your thoughts in the comments. But hey, without further ado, let's get into this.
Wrestlers, particularly those who have had successful runs in WWE, often like to reflect on their careers. In interviews, documentaries, and autobiographies, wrestlers have been known to speak out about regrets they've had about their time in the squared circle. These regrets can come from accepting a lackluster booking decision, or even can relate to the way the specific wrestler handled them.
Do y'all think any superstar is gonna be here twice? If so, who is it gonna be? I'm thinking I feel like it might be Undertaker.
Themselves behind the scenes. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10
or Stone Cold.
Of the biggest regrets of WWE wrestlers. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestle. Behavior towards Ronaldo. Ronaldo becoming the voice of SmackDown was a huge deal. He was a huge fan of the WWE product, and he instantly turned into one of the most popular and acclaimed commentators WWE ever had. Unfortunately, Ronaldo had a shaky relationship with his SmackDown commentary partner JBL, and this reportedly led to Ronaldo taking a leave of absence from WWE and eventually joining the NXT brand as their lead commentator. Ronaldo's close friend Bass Rutten claimed that JBL was excessively bullying him, and whilst Ronaldo claimed his issues in WWE were nothing to do with JBL, several stories of JBL's prior antics surfaced, which certainly didn't present the...
Do y'all like JBL as a commentator? I personally like JBL as a commentator, and I feel like, hold on, I feel like the way JBL acts on camera, I feel like he kind of act like that in real life, but I don't think he would be like that towards, you know, his own people. Because I'm curious, what exactly would JBL bully this dude about? Like, what would he actually bully him about? People get bullied every day. Don't be the person to bully people. Trust me, I've been there. We all been there. If you've been older, we've all been bullied at some point. Don't bully nobody, all right? Because you'll know how... Just don't even make fun of people at all, honestly. Because you don't know how somebody's going to take it. It might be a joke to you, but it might not be a joke to that person, you know? But I want to know what exactly was said for him to not even want to work with him no more. Because it has to be more than just bullying. It literally has to be more than that. There's no way that's the only thing that there is. Because if that was the case, I feel like JBL would have got fired if he was actually bullying him. I don't know. I like JBL as a commentator, though. I think he's a really good commentator. And if I remember this dude correctly, I think I remember him, his voice. I don't remember his voice. I think I remember his voice, but I don't remember if that was him or not. But, yeah, that's enough. I don't know what else to say about him.
Former champion in the most positive manner. JBL would later come forward during an interview on the Rick Bassman Talking Tough show and stated that he deeply regrets anything he said to Ronaldo that may have caused distress. I did a rant on the show about, they're calling Morrow the #1 announcer. He's retweeted it, blah blah blah. 100% in character, and people talk about that poll that I was so jealous of that poll that I went on TV and talked about it. That was just me being JBL on camera, and I think Morrow took that the wrong way. I hope he realizes now that that was something that I did that was 100% in character. JBL.
Yeah, I feel like, actually, yeah, I take it back. I don't think JBL's a bad person. Because him and Undertaker are friends. And if him and Undertaker are friends, I don't think he's a bad guy. Because I'm sure Undertaker wouldn't even like him.
Would also state that he informed Morrow directly that he regrets about how he handled the situation. I walked across the parking lot and he was on his phone, so I couldn't talk to him, but I shook his hand. Just went across and shook his hand and he said, "How you doing, man?" I said, "It's good, brother," and just left. Just to let him know that there was no ill intent, at least of me towards him. I regret the whole situation. I wish that Morrow had known for sure. Number 9, Chris Jericho not wrestling Macho Man Randy Savage. Throughout his legendary career, Chris Jericho has wrestled virtually every major name imaginable.
Ric Flair
From
too.
past icons such as Hulk Hogan and The Rock to modern
Sure,
greats such as
another one
John
wasn't
Cena
on.
and Randy Orton. However, one wrestler that Jericho never got to have a featured match against was Macho Man Randy Savage. This is something that Jericho regrets about his career. In a tweet in June of 2023, Jericho stated,
Is Jericho a top 10 wrestler of all time? Not just in the ring, I'm saying like on the microphone too. I'm gonna add that as part of just being an overall wrestler, because I mean, yeah, you don't have to be the best on the mic, but he's good on the mic and he's good in the ring, so I think it counts, right? Is he top 10 all time? Just yes or no, is he top 10 all time? I personally think he's top 10 all time.
"Man, I wish I would have gotten to work with Randy, one of my heroes for sure. Jericho versus Randy Savage would have been an epic feud, and it's a massive shame that we never got to see it take place. Randy Orton not showing the WrestleMania 21 rehearsals. During Randy Orton's early days in WWE, he had a ton of personal problems that unfortunately filtered into his attitude and behavior as a top WWE star. In 2005, Orton was given the opportunity of a lifetime as he was set to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania 21. Only a select few stars have been given this huge honor, and Orton, due to his personal issues, decided to outright miss the planned rehearsal for his match with the Dead Man. In a 2020 episode of WWE Untold, Orton admitted how much he regretted missing the planned rehearsal. "Let's just say I got into a little trouble, didn't get much sleep, just in case my kids are watching. I keep in mind this is my second WrestleMania, I'm 24, I'm being given the world, my dad is there, Taker's there. I got down there just as they were finishing up and they were walking out. I'm working with The Undertaker for a year, and it all started off with me missing rehearsal for the biggest match of the year." The multi-time WWE champion stated, "A lot of my people may have opinions about me early in my career, but nobody considers myself more of an asshole than I do. So Take, if you're watching, thank you for not bitching me out, cursing me out, and chokeslamming my ass to hell after I missed that rehearsal. That's probably one of my biggest regrets in the business, letting you men down that night." Number 7, Kane, the half-head.
What exactly would they have rehearsed though? I mean, it wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't the worst WrestleMania match ever. So what exactly would it change if they did a rehearsal? What would it change? They probably would have added a couple more spots, but it wouldn't have been a lot different. It wouldn't have been that much different.
Haircut. One of the most shocking moments of the Ruthless Aggression era saw the unmasking of Kane. This allowed the Kane character to develop even further, as Glenn Jacobs believed that the masked version of the demonic character had grown stale. Whilst Jacobs was all in favour of removing the mask, he wasn't anticipating keeping the unkempt, half-shaved head look. The Hall of Famer would discuss his one regret from this memorable segment with Stone Cold Steve Austin. "I actually was a little nervous though, because I hadn't told my wife about this, and my wife loved my long hair, and I wanted to see it and be shocked just like everybody else, and she was. So when I talked to her after the match, that didn't go very well, and they get about halfway through and Bruce Pritchard goes, 'Stop, I need to show Vince.' I should have said right then, keep going, and of course in the heat of the moment, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And then yeah, I'm sitting there like, wait a second, I gotta go look like Outback with this. I gotta go pick my kids up at school." Number 6, Seth Rollins,
That's
the
tough.
reunion of the Shield.
Imagine going to pick up your kids and you have literally your forehead, your hairline's all the way right here where your headphones is at. That's tough.
The Shield were immensely popular during their initial run, and when WWE disbanded the stable in 2014, it seemed like a certainty that they would eventually reform the group in years to come. This eventually happened in 2017, and whilst the reunion was a success, it didn't feel the same and the magic had been somewhat lost. One of the major issues with the reunion was that WWE had failed to create a compelling rival for the group, and they were facing a randomly put together collection of stars. WWE attempted the reunion once again in 2018, but at this point it was clear that fans were fine with the three main eventers having their own unique storylines. It wasn't just the WWE fans who felt like the Shield reunions didn't hit the mark, as Shield member Seth Rollins has spoken at length about his regrets with the reunions, and Rollins went into detail during an interview with Bleacher Report. "I guess one regret would be managing some of the reunions a little bit better. Some of that was out of our control and there was nothing we could do. It's not ideal to have Kurt Angle in a Shield costume, but desperate times call for desperate measures. So he made the
Wow.
best of it, and there's something to be said.
There wasn't really no trios back then though. Like it's a lot of teams now. You got what's a trio? You got the New Day. Well, not right now because Big E's still out. But around this time, you got the New Day. Right now, you got the Judgment Day. I mean, you can do something with the Brawling Brutes. You got what's another team? There's a lot of teams out there. You could do something. You could do something with the Street Profits. You could just add a third to them. Like, there's a lot of teams out there that you can use, even if it was just a 2-on-2 setting. Because obviously Dean Ambrose isn't there, or John Moxley. He's not there anymore, obviously. So I mean, you could have used somebody else now, but there's no point of doing it now because obviously Roman Reigns is the top guy in WWE, and so is Seth Rollins. So there's really no point of putting them back together. I don't see it ever happening again because I'm sure Moxley is not coming back. Well, he might come back later, like 10 years from now. But until then, I really don't see anything happening with that.
For putting people in that role and being able to have the equity to do that. Number 5, Triple H not facing The Rock at WrestleMania 16. The feud between Triple H and The Rock was one of the standout feuds of the Attitude Era, and the two should have collided in the main event of WrestleMania 16. Instead, though, WWE booked a McMahon in every corner fatal 4-way match, which involved the Game, The Rock, Big Show, and the seemingly retired Mick Foley. The match failed to meet WrestleMania main event standards, and WWE eventually booked the match for Backlash in 2000 in what turned out to be an utter classic. Whilst appearing on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, he discussed his regrets in WWE, and this led to the Game discussing how much he regretted not facing the Great One in the main event of WrestleMania 16. Triple H even stated that he wishes he and The Rock collided in an Iron Man match on the grandest stage. My only regret of the whole thing is in 2000 we were poised to have a match at WrestleMania 1-on-1. I think that would have been an epic thing for both of us in that moment. The timing of Taker's return and Austin's return, and Austin wasn't quite ready yet, so they pushed the WrestleMania match. A couple of months later, we would have the one-on-one Iron Man match that we wanted to have at WrestleMania. Unfortunately for me, I just feel that's the one thing we got to this unbelievable heated long-term rivalry and then never got a payoff on the biggest platform possible. Number 4, Stone Cold Steve Austin not wrestling Brock Lesnar. In one of the most infamous walkouts
Stone Cold would have got broke off by Brock Lesnar.
In WWE history,
Steve
Austin decided a no-show an episode of Raw in 2002 when he was booked to lose to Brock Lesnar. Austin had zero issues with putting over the young star, but he believed that the match should have been built up and then Austin would do the honors. Austin has talked time and time again about his regrets when it comes to the way he handled this situation. He would even mention in his Hall of Fame speech, so it was evidently bothering the WWE legend years after the walkout. Whilst Austin clearly holds a lot of tender feelings towards the 2002 incident, Lesnar has never seemed to remotely care about Austin failing to put him over. While some wrestlers would hold a grudge, this isn't the type of human being that Lesnar is, and thankfully Lesnar and Austin have maintained a healthy friendship for almost 2 decades now. Number 3, The Undertaker not wrestling Andre the Giant.
What? That's a regret for Undertaker?
Since retiring in 2020, The Undertaker has given endless public interviews about his life and career, and in one specific interview with Ariel Helwani, the dead man stated that one of his biggest regrets is that he never got to wrestle Andre the Giant. When I came in, he was right there at the end, and he was working just a little bit. His knees and back were really bad, but he always had this idea, The Undertaker said. I'd come into the dressing room and I say, "Hey boss, how you doing today?" He would say, "Oh good kid, one day me and you will make big money." I was like, "Really, boss?" He goes, "Yeah, I've got a good idea." I said, "Oh well, let me hear about it." No. He was so old school, like he would never tell me. I never got to work with him. That is a huge regret. I would have loved to just be in the ring with Andre. Number 2, John Cena retrospective hypocrisy. One of the main focal points in the rivalry between Cena and The Rock was Cena's consistent references to The Rock's ventures in Hollywood. Cena was of the belief that The Rock abandoned WWE in favor of Hollywood.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it. He's been a hypocrite, right? Because John Cena has been a hypocrite. He talked about The Rock leaving for Hollywood. I mean, he just said that. But he's talking about The Rock leaving for Hollywood, going to make movies, how he cares about the WWE universe. He's more passionate about it. He's gonna be doing that for the rest of his life, this and that. And the dude literally did the same thing, bro. He came back. He comes back once a year. Except for this year, he came back twice. Comes back once a year, and then literally disappears. You see him on those freaking This man went to go shoot Wipeout. He went to go film a couple movies, whatever. But I think he still could have been there more. Cause me personally, I want him to pass Ric Flair in most world titles. I don't want him to be tied, but he said his body can't take it no more, so he probably will be hanging up his shoes. I'm gonna say shoes because he don't wear boots. He's gonna be hanging up his shoes here soon. So I mean, I just wanted him to pass Ric Flair. I want him and Randy Orton to both pass Ric Flair. Those are the two people I want to pass Ric Flair. And at least if Randy don't pass him, I'm cool with him tying him. I think Ric Flair said he wanted Randy to pass him anyway. So I mean, hey.
He was extremely critical of The Rock's mishaps in the movie industry. Fast forward to a decade after the feud, and Cena himself has semi-retired and is now a big name in the movie industry. Naturally, fans have called out Cena's hypocrisy, but Cena himself has admitted the total hypocritical behavior. He would reflect on this during an appearance on the Happy Sad Confused podcast, saying, "I got selfish in me, living in WWE at the point and not having any concept of growth or someone else's perspective. I took Dwayne's comments about the business as not genuine. He said, my view was that if you love something, be there every day. Like, what a hypocrite I am, because I still love WWE and I can't go all the time. And I just didn't see that. I was so selfish. Instead of going like, hey man, I'd like to try to do this thing to hook you back in and maybe we can collaborate and really make it big, I was just like, F this, I'm calling this dude out. This is a moment. You give me an opening, I'm gonna kick the door in." And I was diligent and I understand why he got upset. And number 1, Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement. The beloved Shawn Michaels had the perfect retirement in 2010. He retired in a classic match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26, but 8 years later, HBK made the controversial decision to come out of retirement.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Why did they make all these old people go in one match? This match would have been really good if it happened 15 years ago. But no, now it's too late. It's way too late. They're old, they're beat up, they're broken down. I'm sure Shawn Michaels, I know Shawn Michaels probably can't even do sweet chin music right now. Triple H has heart issues. Undertaker's just too old. And Mayor Glenn Jacobs is definitely too old. So, I don't understand what the point of this was. I guess for ticket sales or whatever, but it looked good on paper until you realize how old they are.
Team with Triple H to take on Taker and Kane at the Crown Jewel event, but the match itself received widespread criticism and fans were incredibly disappointed that HBK would come out of retirement for an easy payday. In the years that followed, he's been critical of the match, and HBK would be asked by the New York Post if he regrets accepting the match. This is what he had to say. "I do. I had no idea that from Mark's standpoint he was looking at as that might be one he could walk away on. That's something that I think to myself, oh my goodness, I wish I would have known that. For me it was fun. It was just a chance to be with my buddies. All I can do is apologize to the guys." There you have it folks, 10 of the biggest regrets of WWE wrestlers. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Which one of these were probably the most shocking? Because, like I said, one that I kind of expect was, I was expecting like a Goldberg and Undertaker thing, but I don't remember seeing it. But I forgot all about the DX versus the Brothers of Destruction, because that's literally on the same level as that. Except for nobody almost, got paralyzed and put in a casket. But look, I am tired, y'all. I really have been appreciating y'all running up these videos. But let's continue to do it because it's not enough. I'm saying it's not enough because we have a goal that we're trying to hit, right? And I can't hit it without y'all. So continue to show the support, continue to subscribe. Because we got videos that I want to do, but we cannot do it until we get to those goals. Each goal, matter of fact, I'm gonna come with a goal list. All right, I'm gonna come with a goal list, and I think every week we're gonna talk about that goal. That's what we're gonna do. But look, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, like this video. It's your boy. I said that backwards. I never said it like that ever, and it sounded weird. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. It's your boy D-Riv, man. I'm out.